If you're anything like me, you're possessed by your art because your identity leans on it too hard. You slave over that art just to put it out on social media, rationalizing that you're building some online portfolio that could score you a career in line with your passions. And when you get burnt out making that art turned content because it doesn't get the engagement you think it deserves, you head to the dive bar down the hill and drink yourself to the point of playing pin finger with a butterfly knife as sped up townies cheer you on, singing along to Living on a Prayer. The resulting hangover turns into days, if not weeks, of self-loathing and inactivity that exacerbates your self-loathing until you're forced back into the saddle because your art is the only thing that gives you a sense of self-worth. You start creating again, settling into a nice rhythm, likely cheapening your work for the prospect of virality until once again you lose sight of the delayed gratification you had envisioned at the end of the tunnel and come to terms with the fact that your raison d'etre is posting content online solely for validation from strangers. And then the cycle repeats. But it doesn't have to. What you can do is get a hobby. Yeah, and when I say a hobby, I mean something you can enjoy doing for the sake of doing it, preferably something unrelated to whatever that thing is you romanticize as your life's work. Hobbies have mental health benefits, but if you're anything like me, a clean bill of mental health isn't that sexy an incentive, given that the writers and creators whose work you admire tend to be remarkably unwell. So for the purposes of this video, let me emphasize that hobbies unrelated to your art can reinvigorate the art itself by altering how you approach it, boosting your creativity, and making you less susceptible to burnout. I chose Gunpla as my hobby because nothing else is catching my eye right now. Shane Morton sold me on it as a kind of tactile therapy, and I don't know if it'll stick, but I think it's a good illustration for just how pointless whatever hobby you choose can be. RE your ambition. Aside from this video, I have zero interest in incorporating Japanese robot figurines into my work, so I was able to assemble this unencumbered by nagging thoughts like, how will others receive the end result, and will I ever make money doing this? The answer to the former is I don't care. The end result's gonna live in my study. And the answer to the latter is no. I know I will not be making money doing this. The rewards I got for building Joe Hound here are all intrinsic, except for the model itself, which in turn elicits some kind of IKEA effect, a cognitive bias where I place a disproportionately high value on a product that I partially create. I think just seeing them on my dresser every morning is going to be a positive affirmation in and of itself. And if I continue with Gunpla, I can see myself having a whole platoon of Gundam cheerleaders stationed around my study, servicing my morale. Not only that, this hobby is going to give me a lot more alone time with my thoughts, being that my hands are going to be too busy clipping and assembling parts to spend that time scrolling through my phone. The digital smoke breaks we all indulge in reduce the cognitive resources we need for creative breakthroughs and put us in a state of insufficiency where we're blue-balled out of a sense of completion. Conversely, repetitive tasks have been shown to be particularly conducive to daydreaming, even more so than simply sitting and doing nothing. And daydreaming has been shown to help us connect disparate ideas, problem solve, and unveil paths to achieving our goals. Following a set of instructions and assembling a model is one such repetitive task, and Gunpla has the added benefit of making me feel like a child. Maybe you've heard this, but unleashing your inner child sparks creativity, and if you think that's some woo-woo platitude, look it up. Big tech encourages their employees to play with Legos, and there's a Wall Street Journal article that says subjects who are told to imagine themselves as 7-year-olds score significantly higher on tests of divergent thinking. So that's neat. All right, yeah, all that said, the most powerful thing this hobby is going to do for my art, and I touched on this earlier, is it's going to force me to be alone with my thoughts more. Solitude is something every true artist needs on some level, the operant definition of artist being one who uses specialized skills to create works of self-expression. There's no way around it. The capacity to be alone and out of range of human chatter is a prereq for finding your own voice, i.e. integrating the violent mess of impressions moshing around in your head into a cohesive vision worth sharing. And before you ask yourself if I'll allow myself to listen to podcasts while I assemble Gunpla, the answer is a resounding no. It would defeat the purpose. Basically, if you want to trade in self-expression, you gotta know yourself. And if you wanna know yourself, you gotta tune into your own inner dialogue, even if it's unbearably obnoxious. Gunpla is gonna be perfect for this, for self-isolation, because it's not something I'm gonna do in shared spaces of the house where my girlfriend can wander in, scrutinize me, and build a case for continuing to doubt how adult I am. I've even gone so far as to ban Daniel Day-Lewis from my study while assemblies are in progress, because he can't help but sabotage any of the projects I'm working on, much less ones that involve crinkly bags and small plastic objects. So yeah, Gunpla is something I'm inclined to do in total isolation. And if it sticks, it should do wonders, conditioning my capacity to be alone longer, which will afford any unrelated and unborn art in my brain more time to incubate. So yeah, I hope this video has made you a little less wary of wasting your time on diversions that could ultimately benefit your well-being and, more importantly, your life's work. Being able to take your mind off of that work will keep it from getting too self-referential. Take it from me, when all you can draw from is work experience to produce more work, because your work is the only thing that holds your interest, your work becomes sterile. If you already have a hobby that you think provides you with the benefits that I believe Gunpla is gonna provide me, please let me know in the comments. I'm open to the idea that there may be an even better fit for me, and while a lot of people maintain that life is short, I'm finding it very long. I have no problem investing time into experimenting with activities that'll fill up the downtime I generally spend mining social media for superficial connections and skewed self-image. So yeah, if you would do that, that'd be great. And yeah, thanks for watching, and please do me the favor of subscribing.
Big